Hello students and welcome back to our English slang video series. In this 14th video, I'm going to talk all about the Rizz. You've probably heard a lot about the Rizz, or maybe you haven't. It's basically a slang term in English that has gained prominence. Today, on December 4th, as I record this video, Oxford, the famous English dictionary, has named this slang term the word of the year for 2023, and it's derived from similar words such as charisma or charm or being attractive and sometimes being able to get a romantic partner because you have the Rizz. So we're going to talk about the Rizz, all about the Rizz. It is a noun. I have a definition here from the New York Times. The Gen Z, or short for Generation Z, slang term in Oxford's 2023 Word of the Year is derived from charisma. The word refers to having style, charm, or attractiveness, or the ability to attract a romantic partner. And I'm going to go over an article today about the Rizz that talks about this word, this vocabulary word, how it's become popular with people 18 to 30. I'm a little bit older than that, so, the Rizz, the word Rizz is new to me. I don't really hear it in my friend group or in society that much, but apparently with Generation Z, the youngest generation, I should say, that's come of age recently, it is quite popular. I'm a millennial, so I don't really relate to the current generation so much that's made Rizz popular, but we're going to talk about it. I like to talk about these slang words, and we're going to go through this article together. So my name is Ben with English from A to Z, and let's get started. So talking about the Rizz, I want to read this article together and just give some brief insights. The title of this article from the New York Times is Oxford's 2023 Word of the Year is Rizz. Sorry, Swifties, the Gen Z slang term derived from charisma went viral this year after the actor Tom Holland claimed to have none. So that's the actor Tom Holland, who is known for the Spider-Man movies, and basically told reporters he has no Rizz, he has no charisma, or he has no charm. So got Rizz, the actor Tom Holland claimed to have none, sending the internet into a tizzy. Tizzy is another word for frenzy, and inadvertently propelling the slang term to victory as Oxford's Word of the Year. So this article by Jennifer Schuessler states, it's official, Oxford University Press, the world's second oldest academic press, and the publisher of the Oxford English Dictionary, has Rizz. Or at least, like the rest of us over a certain age, it's trying to get some Rizz. Rizz, Gen Z, or is it Gen Alpha, slang for style, charm, or attractiveness, or the ability to attract a romantic partner, has been named as Oxford's 2023 Word of the Year, beating out contenders like situationship, prompt, de-influencing, and yes, Swiftie. For the Taylor Swift fans out there, if you're a Swiftie, you're a fan of Taylor Swift. Let's continue. Rizz is shortened form of charisma, and let's think of the base word here. Rizz, in kind of charisma, can be shortened from Rizz, so that's a good insight. Charisma, it's basically Rizz is short for the word charisma, and it has the same meaning. Emerged out of internet and gaming culture, according to Oxford, and was popularized in 2022 by the YouTube and Twitch streamer Kai Cenat, who posted Rizz tips videos online. It went viral in June after the actor Tom Holland, in an interview with BuzzFeed, said, "I have no Rizz whatsoever. I have limited Rizz." So Tom Holland basically said he doesn't have that charm or charisma. He has a little bit of it, but for an actor, not so much. That spawned a crush of memes. Crush of memes can mean a lot of memes or a ton of memes, as overall usage surged by a factor of about 15 over the previous year, according to Oxford's data. Casper Grathwohl, the president of Oxford Languages, the dictionary division, said that this year's choice reflects the way social media has increased the pace of language change exponentially meaning at a high growth rate or growing quite a bit. Plus, he said this word simply has Rizz. So the word is attractive. When you have Rizz, you're attractive, you have charismatic, you're influential. So the word has staying power. It has Rizz. The quote here, one of the reasons it's moving from being a niche social media phrase into the mainstream is it's just fun to say, he said. When it comes off your tongue, there's a little bit of joy that comes with it. Oxford's Word of the Year is based on usage evidence drawn from its continually updated corpus of more than 22 billion words, which is incredible. The English language is very diverse, as you all know, studying it, and it's gathered from news sources across the English-speaking world. So English, like any language, is constantly evolving, constantly each year adding new words, new phrases, and new definitions. To continue, the selection, according to Oxford, is meant to reflect the ethos, mood, or preoccupations of the preceding year, while also having potential as a term of lasting cultural significance. Usually, Oxford's lexicographers assemble a short list of words or expressions that saw a statistically relevant surge and then choose a winner. But in recent years, Oxford has turned the selection process into the lexicographical version of a reality show. Last year, Oxford let the public vote on 3 finalists. Goblin Mode came out on top because 2022. This year, the public is invited to cut the short list in half by weighing in on 4 head-to-head thematic pairings. Some 30,000 people voted, Oxford said. Oxford's team then made the final selection. One pairing, Swiftie versus de-influencing, related to celebrity culture. Others reflected personal characteristics, Rizz versus beige flag. A characteristic suggesting a partner is boring. That one's new to me. As a side note, the changing world, prompt versus heat dome, and relationships, parasocial versus situationship. Grathwohl guessed correctly that the contest would ultimately come down to Swiftie versus Rizz, which it did, but only after de-influencing, the practice of discouraging people from buying particular products or reducing their consumption more generally. So that's the definition here of de-influencing. Made a strong run at knocking out Swiftie. As for Rizz, Grathwohl said the word has some interesting features. Usually shortened forms are taken from the start of a word, like app for application, rhino for rhinoceros, that's a good one, or the end, like neighborhood, robot, chatbot. It's more unusual, giving you guys some other examples. It's more unusual but not unheard of for abbreviated forms to come from the middle. Flu, fridge, he said. He noted that Rizz also gets used as a verb, as in to rizz it up or charm someone. That's another good way to use Rizz. It's not just a noun but a verb. As a word expands from one part of speech to another, that's an indicator it might have some staying power, he said. And he had a friendly comment for Holland. I hate to be a linguistic watchdog, but Tom should know that limited Rizz is still Rizz. Grathwohl said he's not being very precise. Swiftie, for all its overexposure, is also notable, Grathwohl said, for the way it illustrates how fanatics, languages that fans develop amongst themselves, take hold. Many never make it out of various subreddits, but now with so many more ways to share, they can spread more easily. In case you're wondering, no, Taylor Swift and the supposedly Rizz-challenged Tom Holland are not known to have officially dated. Holland is happily in a relationship with Zendaya. But today, everyone on Earth might feel that like they're in a parasocial situationship with Swift, whether they like it or not, okay? So everybody knows Taylor Swift. She's probably the biggest pop star on the globe. So even though if you don't know her, you still hear about her, and you still are aware of her when they talk about parasocial situationship. Still, Grathwohl said that Swiftie could transcend Swift herself and become a more general descriptor of a certain worldview and lifestyle, much like Deadhead has come to conjure up more than just fandom for the Grateful Dead. Still, even the seeming Taylorification of everything pales before the power of artificial intelligence, or AI for short. The surge in words like prompt and instruction given to an AI program, Grathwohl said, reflects the way specialist vocabulary can enter the mainstream, propelled in this case by the enormous volume of conversation about generative AI following the release of ChatGPT in late 2022. So, will our machine overlords ever play a role in selecting the word of the year? It would not be a illogical step if we're looking to validate our models, Grathwohl said. Large language models have the ability to crunch data a lot more effectively than humans. So that is the New York Times article today by Jennifer Schuessler, And I thought it was a very good article to explain the origins of Rizz, how Tom Holland has made it popular, more so with the younger generation, how we use Rizz in a sentence, how it comes from the base word or the formal word of charisma, and how there's other words like situationship, swifty, that also were in the running for Oxford's Word of the Year. So I hope you enjoy this article. Here's the link to it if you want to read it again. I appreciate you all tuning in for this English slang word on Rizz, all about the Rizz. I think it's good that we focus on a word every now and then that is new, that is English slang, but you may hear it on television or in the media or through music or even in a book. So even if you're not a Swiftie, if you are a Swiftie, I feel bad if your word didn't win. But Rizz is a very popular word, at least this year in 2023 and maybe into the future. So my name is Ben with English from A to Z. Thank you for watching this English slang video. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button below and subscribe to this channel where we go through every kind of English language content, from analyzing the language in terms of cultural differences to fixing grammar errors, to even analyzing idioms and slang like the word Rizz. And I hope you all have good Rizz into the next year. And thank you again for watching. Take care. Bye bye.